to study. While they were working, they had to make time and study and take a test and naturalize in order for you to acquire citizenship. So generally, when we have the ceremonies, I always say to the family and friends to take the applicants out to celebrate. But today, we're gonna flip it. And I'm gonna say, thank mom and dad when you leave and when you go home, because they have done a lot for you to be sitting here in front of me today, and for you to have the opportunities that you have, all right? So, this is lesson number 1. None of you asked me what you were signing. So you could be signing all of your money for the rest of your life to my name, and you would not know. So the first lesson today is whenever someone gives you something to sign, always ask, what am I signing? All right? But rest assured, you're not signing off your money now or in the future. All right? So parents, don't worry. But make sure, the reason you're here is because you're all over the age of 14. So we, and the law understands that at the age of 14 and older, you understand the decisions that you're making, right? So even though you're not considered, some of you are not considered an adult yet, right? But you still have an understanding and you still take decisions. So that's my lesson to you today. Always ask, what am I signing? Or make sure that you read what you're signing. So one of the things that we require you to do at the age of 14 or older is take an oath. It's what we call the oath of allegiance. And it is important because when people naturalize, it is the last legal requirement to become a U.S. citizen. And you have acquired citizenship through your parents. But what that says is that at the age of 14 or older, you understand that you're taking a step to promise allegiance to the United States, to your home, to your country, and that you're willing to defend the United States whenever needed, all right? So with that said, I'm gonna ask you all to stand up. You are going to raise your right hand, and you are going to repeat after me with a lot of energy, okay? I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. All right, congratulations. All right. So, generally I share one of two stories with the applicants, right? When I was growing up, I used to love movies and I watched a lot of them. But back in the day, there were no apps with unlimited options. Now you go on either Netflix or Hulu, Prime, you mention it, and you have so many options that by the time you've decided what you want to see, you're ready to go to bed. Back then it wasn't like that, so you would watch movies over and over again. So I generally share one or two stories. And there's a reason I'm going to share this particular one with this group. But I want parents to listen to this story. And I'll tell you in a minute why. Years ago, there was a conflict in Cambodia in the 70s. And they asked United States citizens to sponsor refugees from Cambodia. This family decided to sponsor from Cambodia. And they originally thought that they may get, a mom and a child, 2 people. But when they went to the airport, they ran into a family of 5. Of 6. It was a mom with 5 children. They were excited about sponsoring this family, but the first struggle that they had, what do you think was? Language. That was the first struggle, because we're always excited about doing things, but sometimes we don't think about everything that's going to come with that decision. So this family was excited. They had a home, they had the means, they were going to sponsor this family, but they didn't think a lot of things through. So when these 2 families meet at the airport, they can't communicate. That was the first struggle. They bring this family of 6 home, mom and 5 children, and they have to figure out everyday things. We have to enroll 5 kids in school in different grades. Some were elementary school, some were middle school. We have to make sure that they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that someone takes them to school and someone picks them up, and mom really cannot communicate. Out of the 5 children, one of the middle kids got very interested in school and decided that she was kind of going to bridge that gap between the family that was sponsoring her and her mom. And she started learning English. When she came to the United States, she only knew how to count from 1 to 10 in English, nothing else. 4 years later, she competed in the county spelling bee, and she won. But she shocked the nation because she went on to compete to nationals and she got 2nd place. In 4 years, Lynn had learned how to spell 4,000 words. Now, I'm not talking about saying the words. I'm talking about spelling words correctly and standing in front of a big room of people and spelling those words. Her story was such a big deal in 1983 that she not only had a movie made based on her story, but she got a call from the president himself congratulating her on her big accomplishment. The reason I share that story with you is because I started by saying, Mom and Dad did a lot of the legwork for you guys to be sitting here in front of me. If Lynn came to this country at the age of 10 or 11 and was able to, in 4 years, master the language and go on to do great things, she's an investment banker, she kept going. There is no limit to what you can do with the opportunities that you're going to have as you move along. And I say this, and I said, parents, listen to this story, because there are no excuses for these children that are sitting in front of me. None. And the reason is because if mom and dad did it at the age that they came and did everything that they had to do to provide you these opportunities, there are no excuses for you. This is a land of opportunities, but you have to take advantage of those opportunities. You have to seize the moment. The things that you do are all based on your drive, all right? So mom and dad had a drive. You know, they got here, they did what they needed to do, and they got you sitting in front of me. But moving forward, it is all up to you. You're all over the age of 14. I know I have a couple of adults. That doesn't mean that it doesn't apply to us, right? The story. But you're all over the age of 14. What that means is you are now in the point of your life that you're going to start making decisions that are going to dictate the rest of your life, all right? So I usually say go out, celebrate, but I want you guys to go out and say thank you. Thank your parents for everything that they have done, everything that they do, and everything that they continue to do. Because your parents worked, and they took a day off to be here. This is how important that certificate is for them and for you, all right? So, with that said, I have some information for the adults. Most of you have U.S. passports. If you do not have a U.S. passport, you can, apply for it immediately. If you have plans to travel in less than a month, there is an expedited process that takes 3 to 4 weeks, depending on when you're traveling. There is a same-day expedited process that takes 1 day. But you need 3 things. You need to be traveling within the next 14 days. You need to have proof of travel, and you need to go to one of the offices that can issue a same-day passport. The closest ones to North Carolina are Atlanta, Georgia, and Washington, D.C. All right? So with that said, in their packages, there is a form, a sheet that has a red banner at the top. It has all the information that you're gonna need on U.S. passport, social security record, if you need to update your social security record, and also it has information on registering to vote. The ones of you that are 18 or older, just remember, we have rights, but we also have responsibilities. We want to have our voice and our opinion heard on the matters that are going to dictate the kind of country that we're forging, right? For the ones of you that have not hit that age, keep in mind, once you hit the age of 18, you can register to vote and let your voice be heard, all right? So with that, congratulations. It has been an honor. Go celebrate. It's a big day. They've been a citizen since parents naturalized, but it's a big day to have that certificate. And it is important for the ones of you that are considering going on to college. They will require that certificate for certain benefits in school, certain loans and grants and programs. So please keep it in a safe place. Before you do anything with the certificate, you have to sign your certificate at the very top. There is a line, you're gonna sign it in blue or black ink. Keep it in a safe place, but do not laminate the certificate. If you laminate the certificate, that certificate is invalid because no other agency will be able to verify the authenticity and you would have to reapply. So make sure to sign it and do not laminate it. With that, congratulations. And this concludes our ceremony. I had a parent that asked me about a minor. If you have children that are underage and have been approved and you need to see someone, I will be in the back and I will talk to you. All right? All right, that concludes the ceremony.
Am I right?